There is a constant discussion in recent years as to whether video games are a form of art. It can get pretty heated on both sides, with strong opinions and plenty of proofs. However, In Between, by Gentlymad and published by Headup Games, sits solidly in the art category, with graphics, story, and even the mechanics delivering a subtle emotional push into the character's world. You can't help but feel you are looking at something like a painting, a picture telling 1,000 words. First, there is the artistic style of the game itself. In Between has a strong color contrast cartoon kind of feel, much too detailed to be the Saturday morning cartoons, and far too surreal to be literal. These hard colors paint a picture of the character, his feelings, his fears, and how you, the player, are just as much along for the ride as he is through this turmoil he's feeling. The game itself is a gravity puzzle game. You control the movement of the character in his 2D world, and you also control where gravity draws you in the world, though gravity can only be changed while your character is touching the ground, so no flying through the map without a care here. Instead, you must choose perfectly which direction you wish to fall, otherwise you will be stuck in a non-ending loop of deaths and rewinds. Now, while you obey gravity, as you would expect, there are also objects and traps that do not always obey gravity as you would predict, sometimes going the opposite of the direction you'd expect. This means that the puzzle not only messes with your spatial awareness to yourself, but also requires you to flip what you've learned on its head to move traps. In short, the challenges are on par with those of Give Up, but without the rage. The story you are following is that of a dying man's thoughts in between life and death. You follow his story as told by him from his childhood to his late adult life, and everywhere in between. You do not control his story or where his story ends, but rather you feel like you are in some way working through his emotions with him as he comes close to death. To that end, the names of the sections of the story follow suit, with their names reflecting the different levels of grief. So you not only have an engaging story that pulls you into the emotional war of the character, but you also are able to follow the grief all the way through because of the mechanics. The story is well done, and the storytelling is amazing. In Between is a superb 2D emotional story-driven puzzle game that puts you into the emotional craze of a man in between living and dying. So while the game isn't super complex or breaking ground on any video game charts, In Between brings home recommended with flying colors. A great game for storytellers and indie game lovers alike. Thanks for leaving us a like here at Indie Game, and as always, be indie, be free.